Hey, this is Greg, and welcome back to the Preparedness Series. This one's going to be I'm hoping this will be the only one of these that I do that's this way. And this is 100% off of the Rural Economist Facebook page. So if you'd like to be in more constant contact with me, you can sign up and follow the Rural Economist Facebook page. And I fairly regularly ask questions that help shape some of the shows that actually come on here. Today we're going to be talking about reasons and or excuses that people give for not being prepared. Had a lot of comments and a lot of interaction when I asked this question to the group on the Facebook page. So if one of these is yours, or if you feel like you cannot figure out how to prepare and you want to prepare, then subscribe to this page and like this video and make sure that you get notifications, okay? So we're going to talk about some of the reasons that people give why they do not prepare. First thing, which I thought was just very interesting, is somebody actually said that they were too lazy, LOL. Well, too lazy, at least they're honest. That's probably a greater number of the reason than any of the others. Second, money. Money's a big one, and it's realistic. We're actually going to help you in the next couple of weeks. It's a couple of weeks out. We're going to give you some things to do that will actually help you pay for your preps with no money out of pocket. Be sure and look for that one. That one's going to be a biggie, I think. Okay? Can't prep on food stamps. Actually, you can. And that's going to be covered in the same one about money. You can do a lot, even if you're on government assistance, to ensure that if something happens, tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, tsunamis, whatever it is that you happen to be in your area, that you can be prepared for the unexpected. So there are things to do. Too much work. That's horse manure. It doesn't have to be a lot of work. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. What it is like I've said in a previous video, and I don't remember which one it is, you simply use the SIS system. SIIS. Small, intentional, incremental steps. You build a plan, you follow the plan, and then once you get to whatever you decide your level of comfort is, you're good. It's not a big deal. FEMA or the government. Now, I'm going to be honest, this one baffles me. Do you really want to be the person who can't take care of themselves at all? Do you want to be the ones that are standing in line at the FEMA trailer just to be able to feed yourself? Are you really wanting to stand in line just to be able to get clean water? Are you really, honestly, wanting to stand in line when the Tide truck comes rolling in so that you can have clean clothes? There are things that you can do to alleviate, if not completely remove, these possibilities for most natural disasters. Next, you will take care of me. Now, I'll be honest, most of the people who consider themselves basic preppers, okay, they are more than willing to help feed their neighbors. But the thing about it is, do you really, again, want to be 100% reliant on somebody else for your ability to make it through any situation that you might face? There are some people that will help you out. Most will. There are others that will not. That's a bad deal. I would hate to have to think that my daughter, which now I'll be honest, it would be a lot worse if she was 5, but if my daughter said, "Daddy, I'm hungry," and I didn't have any way to feed her, that would bug me really bad. I don't know where or how to start. Well, we're going to cover all of those things. We're actually going to help you build that foundation like we talked about in video 1 and help you develop your own plan, because your plan is going to be somewhat different from my plan, and it should be. Okay? Nothing local has that can help me prepare. These are the folks that feel like they have to be a part of a community for everything. On the same note, my spouse or my family isn't interested. Well, at some point, you just got to man up or woman up, depending upon which you are, and go, you know what? This is something that I feel like needs to be done. I'm going to do it. It's not going to hurt our family. It can only benefit our family. And I'm going to do it, and I don't care if you make fun of me. Which goes right into the next one. People think it's crazy. Oh my God, you got water and food, and you got medical supplies. What are you, one of them crazy preppers? Yeah. People like that, the only reason they're that way is because it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them realize that they don't have any way to take care of themselves or their family, or they are so bound up in garbage that they're unwilling to go, you know what, I think I need to take responsibility for what's going on, and I'm going to take the forefront in making sure that the people around me are cared for no matter what. Now, in the basic series, we're not talking about EMPs. We're not talking about a nuclear war. We're not talking about a global pandemic or economic collapse. We're talking about tornadoes. We're talking about hurricanes. We're talking about floods. We're talking about stuff that happens every single day all around us. As we get further on, we may talk about some of those other things, but those should not be your primary focus. Nothing is going to happen. Oh my God. Just drives me crazy. Because where I am, I've said this before, in the 2011 April 27th tornadoes, my life changed. I'm lucky that I wasn't at my business when the tornadoes hit, or I would be dead. There are always things happening all over the world. We've just entered, at the time that this goes live, we've just entered the hurricane season. We don't know what's going to happen. Things happen all the time. I'll deal with it when it happens. If it's a 3-day event, okay, maybe, sure. But what if you're one of those folks that's in an area that gets hit so bad that you're out of power for a week or 10 days? Yes, normally by that time help does arrive. But remember Christina? Hurricane Christina? Some of you do. Everybody likes to blame President Bush for it, and he took the blame for it, and I don't know if it was his fault or not, but it was it was an intel problem. It was a logistics problem. That's the word that I'm looking for. But if those people would have had a basal level of preparedness, they would have been able to gotten through it without all of the garbage that they had to go through. Even if you're stuck in your location, if you would put forth the effort to create a basic level of self-reliance, and we're going to talk more about that later, then you're going to be able to weather most of the garbage that you'll ever come in contact with. Stores are full. The average grocery store only has enough supplies in a normal situation for 3 days. If you live in the southeast, or, well, anywhere in the north, in the southeast, if they say snow, the stores are empty. In the northeast and the northwest, if they say blizzards, you know what? The stores are empty. I remember in our small community that our stores were empty when there was nothing going on, simply because the grocery store ran into some economic problems. They ran into some finance problems. So as a result, they didn't have the stores that you would think they should. In fact, it looked like a snowstorm was headed, and it was in the middle of June. So relying on stores to have inventory, especially since we've got this new thing, it's actually not that new, called just-in-time inventory, is a dangerous way to go. I've already talked about crazy. Next is God will save me. Now, I don't like to make fun of the people who say that, because I have faith myself. But God gives you a brain. If you're a Christian, if you're a Jewish person, if you're a person who has studied the Bible at all and believe that any bit of it's real, then you realize that God sent Joseph into Egypt to get everybody ready for a really bad famine, and without God giving Joseph a brain, everybody would have starved to death. Lastly is space. Another one that can be legitimate, especially if you're living in a very small apartment. Space is one of those things that you sometimes have to get creative with, but if that's a problem, hang with me, we'll cover that one too. Have you heard reasons other than the ones that I've listed? And I've gone through quite a few. Do you have reasons that weren't listed why you don't prepare? I'd like to hear it in the comments. If you enjoyed this, if you want to learn more, if you want to be more prepared, if you want to take care of your family, give us a like. Subscribe. The subscribe button will be in the lower left-hand corner, and just hang with us. We're going to help you out, I promise. Step by step, we're bringing rural back. Bye-bye.